Ever needed to pull out the highest or lowest value from a dataset, but only when certain conditions are met? Most people don't know that Excel currently has built-in functions to do this with just one formula. But what about the old versions? In this video, I'll show you how to use MAXIFS and MINIFS, and it doesn't matter your Excel version because I'll show you how to do that whether you have new or old Excel version. Let's dive in. Before we start, and as usual, let me tell you that the file we will be using in this video is linked in the description below. You can download it and follow along with me step by step. Alright, let's get started by checking the data that will be used in our today's video. It's a very simple table that contains a product code and store number along with the quantity sold for these 6 years. What we need to extract from this data is to get the maximum quantity sold for each year, the same as the minimum quantity sold for each year. And that based on this criteria or with a condition, whether it was a store or a product number or product code, to be able to change the product code and the store from the drop-down list, and the data will change dynamically. At the beginning, let's prepare our drop-down list to be able to use it during our video. To change the cell from a normal cell to be a drop-down list, we need to select the cell of the product and then from data menu, then choose data validation. We'll choose here list, and then we have two options here. The first option is to type it manually, and the second one is to navigate to a unique list of the drop-down list items we need to add. So the first drop-down list is a product name or a product code. We will select it and then press OK. So now we have a drop-down list containing the product code or the product names we have. The same we will do for the store. So we'll select the store, and from data validation we'll select list again, and from source we will go for this sheet and select the store numbers we have, and then we will click on OK. So now we have here this store list and this product list. We need to prepare a maximum if or a minimum if for the old version in Excel first, and then we will go for the second one, which is a newer version of Excel, or let's say Excel after Office 2016. If you are using Excel 2011 or 2013, I think you will be struggle using maximum if or minimum if because these functions weren't exist at that time. So what we're gonna do is to try to make it on an old-fashioned way or using an array formula, and I'll describe and explain what is array formula is. At the first cell here, we need to calculate the quantity sold or the maximum quantity sold for year 2020 based on these data or these provided data in that table. So we will start with equal, and then we will type max. If you are using an old Excel version, you will not find this function maximum ifs. So you will start with maximum and then open the bracket, and then we will add an if to it to be an array formula or array function. So we'll type if. For the logical test, we will select the criteria range that contains a condition we need to calculate based on. Let's try calculate it based on the store. So we will select that range that contain our store, and then from our keyboard press F4 to fix that range. Then we will type equal to complete our logical test there. So for example, we need the maximum value or the maximum quantity sold at store number 2. But where is the store number 2? It's here in our drop-down list. We need it dynamically changed. So if we change the store number from this drop-down list to be changed with us or dynamically change the result with us, and absolutely we will press F4 from our keyboard to fix it. Then we will press comma to move to the second part, which is the value if true. But here we will not type a result as a text or select any cell. We are going to select a specific range of cells that contain or where I need to extract the maximum value from. So in our example here, we are seeking to extract the maximum value in year 2020 quantity sold. We select that range and make sure that this range is equivalent to this range from the perspective of the number of cells. And because we are going to drag our function to the right side, we will not fix this selection, so it can be moved with us to the right side. Then we will close our bracket, which will close if function, and then close another bracket to close maximum function. If you are using an old Excel version and you pressed OK at this stage, it will give you a value error because you are combining max function with if function, which is array function. But what you're gonna do is to, from your keyboard, press Ctrl Shift Enter. And if you have a look at the formula bar here, you will see that there is a strange bracket inserted by the Excel itself. What we call this bracket is a curly bracket. It's not a rounded bracket as usual, it's a curly bracket. That's how Excel can actually identify the normal function or the normal formula from an array formula. Now you can drag your equation to the right side like that. Will show you the maximum quantity sold for each year for store number 2. We can also copy our formula here to get the minimum quantity sold, but we need to change something here. We need to change that range and adjust it again because it's not fixed from the beginning. And also change the maximum function with minimum function. And then we will press Ctrl Shift Enter to let Excel know that that's an array function. Now we can drag our equation to the right side and it works. If we try to change the store number from here to any other store number like that, it will dynamically change and getting the result we need. But if you are using a newer Excel version starting from Excel 2019, it will be more easier for you to do that. Let's clear that formula and that also, and we can starting from scratch. All we need to do is to type equal maximum and you will see in the list maximum ifs. So you can click it and start with the maximum range. What exactly is the range you need to extract from the maximum value or the minimum value? For sure it's year 2020 quantity sold. So we will select that and we will keep it as it is because we need to drag it to the right side. We need it to change and to adapt with us. And then pressing comma from our keyboard in order to move to the criteria range 1. Now we have 2 conditions, we need to apply them to our data. The first one is a product code, so we'll select the product code list like that and for sure fix it using F4 from our keyboard, then pressing comma to move to the third part, which is the criteria 1. What's your criteria that Excel will search for in your selected range? So you will get that cell selected that contain the drop-down list, including in it the product name or the product code. You need to fix it using F4 from your keyboard and then pressing comma to move to the second part or the criteria range 2. This is the condition number 2. We have a criteria range 2 in store. We will select the entire stores we have and we will keep it fixed by F4, then pressing comma to move to criteria 2. What's your criteria in that range? I'll tell Excel that it's included in this cell and press F4 from my keyboard to fix it. And then closing my bracket, pressing enter. It's easy, right? Now we can drag our formula to the right side and do the same. We will copy it to put it in the minimum one and then just we need to change or adjust that range to be at the right position and then change maximum if to be minimum if like that, and then pressing enter to have this minimum value for year 2020 quantity sold. We can drag our equation to the right side like that. Then we can test it by changing the product from the product list, choosing any store we need and then validate it. If we choose product number 2 for example and store number 1, let's filter that. We will filter that table to product number 2 and store number 1. Okay, now we have one value. That's why the maximum and minimum are equivalent. But if we try, for example, to use store number 2 and product number 2, now we have 2 lines. Then we need to change this store number to store number 2 like that. It will show me the maximum quantity sold for year 2020 as 564. That's the same number here, and the minimum value is 284. It's the same number here, and the same for any other year. Now you have a dynamic formula that can help you to get or to extract the maximum value and the minimum value with a condition or more conditions, whether you are using an old Excel version or a new Excel version. That was a straightforward example about how to use MAXIFS and minimum if functions in Excel in the old and new versions as well. Finally, remember that the file used in this video is linked below in the description. You can download it and try it by yourself. If you found this helpful, give it a thumb up and don't forget to subscribe for more powerful Excel tutorials that save your time and boost your skills. And drop me a comment to tell me what you need to see in the next video. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.